Good morning class. Welcome back to grade 5 mathematics. How are you all? So in the previous class, we were talking about the basics of fractions. Today, we'll learn how to find the equivalent fraction of a given fraction and also how to check if two given fractions are whether equivalent or not. Now, what are equivalent fractions? When do we say two fractions are equivalent? Two fractions are equivalent when they have the same value, right? Look at this picture given here. Here one circle is divided into two equal parts in the first one, right? And here the circle is divided into four equal parts. Now, what is the fraction of the part colored in green? In this case, one part out of this two parts, two total number of parts is colored in green. So, the fraction of the part colored in green is equal to 1 by 2 or 1/2, right? And here, two parts out of the total four parts are colored in green. So, here the fraction of the parts colored in green is equal to 2 by 4 or 2/4, right? But if you observe, you can see the total quantity or the total value is just the same or the value is just the same, right? So, we can say the fractions 1 by 2 is equivalent to the fraction 2 by 4. Is that clear with you? See how we can find the equivalent fractions of a given fraction. So, we can find the equivalent fractions of a given fraction either by multiplying or dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Let's see how we can do that. Find two equivalent fractions for 1 by 3. So, what is the fraction that we are given here? 1 by 3. So, we are going to find out the equivalent fractions, a few equivalent fractions possible for 1 by 3. So, let's see how we can do that with multiplication. So, I am going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. I am going to multiply the numerator 1 by 2 and the denominator 3 also by 2. So, here it is 1 into 2 by 3 into 2. What is 1 into 2? It is 2 and 3 into 2 is 6. So, here we have an equivalent fraction for 1 by 3. See this case. Here, the numerator and the denominator both are multiplied by the number 5. So, here we have 1 into 5 as the numerator and 3 into 5 as the denominator. So, the fraction here is 5 by 15. So, we can say the fractions 1 by 3, 2 by 6 and 5 by 10 are, it's 5 by 15 are equivalent fractions. Now, let's see one more example. Find two equivalent fractions for 48 by 60. So, in this case, we will use division to find the equivalent fraction for 48 by 60. So, here I am going to divide this 48 and 60, the numerator and the denominator by 3. Both these are multiples of 3, right? I am going to divide both these numbers by 3. So, what is 48 divided by 3? 48 divided by 3 gives you 16, and what is 60 divided by 3? Gives you 20. So, here we have one fraction 16 by 20 which is equivalent to 48 by 60. Let's see one more case. Here I am dividing this 48 as well as 60 by the number 4, both the numerator and the denominator. So, 48 divided by 4 gives you 12 and 60 divided by 4 gives you 15. So, here we have the fraction 12 by 15. So, we say the fraction 48 by 60, 16 by 20 and 12 by 15 are equivalent fractions. Clear? Now, let's see one question here. Vikram watched TV for 3 by 5. How do you rate this? Read this fraction. It is 1 out of 5 total parts. So, you can rate this as 1/5. And this you can rate as 2/5 and this 3 by 5 you can read as 3/5. So Vikram watched TV for 3/5 of an hour and Riya watched TV for 15 by 25th or 15/25 of an hour. Who watched TV for a longer span of time? So what is given in the question? In the question, the time that both Vikram and Riya watched TV is given. We are asked to find out who watched TV for a longer span of time. And we are given the fractions here. How do we find? We can find a solution for this in two methods. In first method, we can find out what is the time Vikram watched TV, or what is the span of time that Vikram watched TV, and what is the span of time that Riya watched TV. Okay, see the first method. So it said in the question that Vikram watched TV for 3 by 5 or 3/5 of an hour. An hour, we know it's 60 minutes. So we can just substitute that here. So it is 3 by 5 of 60 minutes, or 3 by 5 of 1 hour is equal to 3 by 5 into 60. See, this 60 and 50, can we use the same number to divide both these numbers? Yes, this 60 is a multiple of 5, right? So I'm dividing this 60 by 5 to give 12, and this 5 also by 5. This 60 by 5, 12, 5 by 5, 1. So I've divided both the numerator and denominator with the same number. So here we have 3 into 12. So what is 3 into 12? It gives 36. So Vikram watched TV for 36 minutes. Now let's see for how long Riya watched TV. Okay. So Riya watched TV for how long? 15 by 25th of an hour. So that is 15 by 25 into 60 minutes. So see, here also we can cut the numbers using the same number by dividing both the numerator and denominator with the same number. So that gives again 3 into 12, and the answer here is 36 minutes. So we cannot say one watched for more span of time. Both of them watched for the same span of time. Now let's see the second method. What are the fractions we are given in the question? We are given the fraction 3 by 5, which is the span of 3/5 of an hour, which is the span of time that Vikram watched the TV. And for Riya, it was 15 by 25. Have a look at the fractions here. 15 by 25. Can we use the same number to divide both these numerator and the denominator to find an equivalent fraction? See, 15 and 25 are both multiples of 5, right? So I'm using 5 here to divide the numerator. 15 divided by 5 gives you what? 3. Now what about 25 divided by 5? It is 5. See the equivalent fraction here? 3 by 5. So we can say this 3 by 5 and 15 by 5 are equivalent fractions, right? So from that we can understand both of them watched TV for the same span of time. Clear? Now let's see how we can check if two given fractions are equivalent. Suppose you are given two fractions, two fractions, and you're asked to find out if they're equivalent. How do you do that? You have to use cross multiplication here. How do you cross multiply? You have to cross multiply the first numerator and the second denominator, which means the numerator of the first fraction and the denominator of the second fraction, and the denominator of the first fraction and the numerator of the second fraction, like this. And when you multiply like this, if both the products, the product of this multiplication and the product of this multiplication, if both the products are the same or are equivalent, we can say the given fractions are also equivalent. Let's see that with an example. Check if 4 by 9 and 8 by 18 are equivalent fractions. See, what are the fractions given in the question? 4 by 9 and 8 by 18. How do we check if they are equivalent? We have to use cross multiplication here. So we are going to cross multiply 4 into 18 and 9 into 8. So what is 4 into 18? 4 into 18 gives you 72. And what is 9 into 8 or 9 times 8? It is also 72. So we see both the products are the same. So we can say the fractions 4 by 9 and 8 by 18 are equivalent. You have to go through the topic finding equivalent fractions and checking for equivalent fractions in your textbook, that is in page number 56 and 57. So once you are done with that, you have to move on to exercise 4.1, which is in page number 59. You have to do question number 1, 2 and 3 from your textbook. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Until then, bye.